Our first comedian comes to us all the way from Canada, and he is more happy to be here than you are because it's cold up there right now. He's a great guy. He's been traveling all over the country doing the Leland Klassen comedy tour, bringing comedians on with him on this bus, and they've been shooting this video all over the country. He's a very, very funny man and a freak of nature. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Leland Klassen.
It's great to be here. Thanks so much for having me in your country. I'm enjoying it. I had a little trouble this morning when I was flying out here with at the airport a couple of months back, and maybe even 6 months ago now. It was a big deal about gels and liquids. They were kind of freaking out about it. Then they said, okay, in little doses you can come in with it. The guy that was checking me didn't get the memo because he was hassling me over my chapstick. My chapstick. He was like, oh, there's gel in the chapstick. It's chapstick, man. Chapstick. I mean, what are you going to be able to do with chapstick? You know, take me somewhere. Somewhere human, preferably. I've got horribly chapped lips. I mean, granted, it did say lip balm on it. But I think it's a different meaning. And they ask you these questions, it always kind of puts me in a grumpy mood. It shouldn't. I should be able to take it by now, but it always kind of bugs me. You get there with your bags, the first thing they ask you, they just ask you these ridiculous questions. And not all of them are ridiculous, they just don't follow a logical line of reasoning, right? You get there with your bags, what's the first thing they ask you? Did you pack the bags yourself? Yes. Yes, I did. And then this is what they ask you right after that. It makes no sense. And are you aware of the contents? I just told you that I packed it myself. No, I got no idea what's in there. I was packing in the dark in the ammo shed, so I don't know. Might be some lip balm in there. Is that going to be... I don't know, it's ridiculous though. Crazy. But I'm positive about it. I'm being positive because my dad was a negative man. Probably the most negative man in the entire world. Hey, he wouldn't agree. Well, I'm probably not the most, you know, he's so negative. But I was testing him this one time. He's drinking some coffee. I was like, hey, Dad, is that coffee mug half empty or half full? It doesn't matter. It's not hot enough. Ah! Oh, you're right. That's lukewarm. Yeah, you're right. A little negative, but you're right. But I gotta ask you this. Can I ask you this? This whole baseball steroid thing, is that really such a big deal down here? It's, you know, in Canada, to be honest with you, we all do steroids. It's, otherwise I'm pretty sure hands wouldn't get this big. Too much usage of the roid. I forget sometimes how big my hands are. The other day I woke up, I was like, ah! Oh, that's right. Okay. Sorry, no, I thought there was a horse's head on my pillow. It's just my hand. I'm fine. They're too big though, way too big, you know? Way too big. Every time I shake somebody's hand, I tickle their armpit. That's too, yeah. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm uncomfortable too. I feel bad about that. I forgot. I don't know. Here's the thing too. It was tough growing up with. You take your normal sized hands for granted. It was tough growing up with hands this big. I had that big fat red pencil till 12th grade. You know what I'm talking about? Big fat red one. Okay, let's get it going here. Didn't have the same finite motor skills the other kids had with their stubby little hands. You know, I couldn't do the things they could do. You know, at least not as well as them. So I didn't like a lot of things we did in school. You know, well, except for finger painting. I love finger painting. Hey, I'm out of paper. And paint, actually. I'm out of paint as well. And bring some over? Bring it over here. No, I have arms. I just don't need them. Okay. There we go. I still finger paint. It's kind of a hobby of mine now. I was doing some finger painting last weekend. There, I painted the garage. Used to do sign language for the deaf. Used to do the hand signs for the deaf there until they made me stop. Guess I was scaring the deaf people or something, you know. And stop it! It's too loud. It's too loud. I feel bad for my kids, though. My kids, they're gonna have the same problem. They got big hands. You could tell right from birth these kids have big hands. We're in the delivery room, all ready to go there. My wife's on the delivery table, and she's got the hospital gown. I was gonna call it a kilt. I'm pretty sure she wasn't giving birth in a kilt. You know, she's going to some bizarre Scottish hospital or something. You know, all right, lass, give a great big shove for Dr. McGregor. Look at the size of his hands. Quickness, slap him before he slaps us all. I don't know, my kids. I have two boys. My oldest is 10. My oldest is 10. His name is Cooper. And my second son, his name is Hunter. I'm not a big fan of his name. I like him. I just don't like his name. My wife and I have this deal, right? I get to make jokes about her and the family, and she makes decisions. So it's so that's the name. But here, my big idea was when Cooper was 3.5 years old, bringing the new baby home, I thought it'd be a great idea to let him name his younger brother, right? Because sometimes the older child feels kind of left out, and this way he'd feel like he's a part of the team kind of thing, you know? And I'm glad we didn't do that now, because first of all, he would have been named Little Bear, you know, which is my son's favorite cartoon show. And secondly, it would have been spelled AOP, you know, which is only 3 letters he knew at the time. A pretty tough first day of school for that poor kid, eh? Okay, oh boy, is Alp? Aop? Is it Aop? It's pronounced Little Bear. My brother named me, okay? Is that fine? Good kids. Good kids. Brought the whole family out here. So I had the border experience with my family. The border experience scares me. When I come into the U.S. from Canada, always scares me. It's the authority figure, right? There's an authority. It's just kind of, I'm not trying to hide anything, but every time I get there, I just feel kind of tense, you know. And I tried to lighten it up this last time, and the guy was like, "So you're a comedian?" Yeah, that's right. And so what are you going to be talking about? And I was like, "I don't know. It depends how well this goes." Yeah, don't say that. Bad news, saying that. I don't know, but I do want to say something, because you know, when I first started coming down here 5-6 years ago, I always felt there was tension, because I was a Canadian, you guys were American, and it was right at the beginning of the Iraq War, and we didn't send troops, and I always felt like, but let me just tell you this: it's not that we didn't want to support you in Iraq, but we were already in Afghanistan, and we're out of troops, okay? We don't have the kind of resources you guys have. It's like, hang on a second, you guys are going to Iraq too? Okay, hang on. Gary, you want to go? You want to stay here? Well, we'll stay here. Gary and I'll stay here. We'll find Osama. That's what we'll do. Gary's got that one good eye, so we'll be fine. Try our best. Our military's pretty well trained. I respect these guys so much, because they're serving just like your guys are serving your country. Our guys are serving ours, but our guys aren't equipped properly. When we sent our troops over to Afghanistan, we sent our troops over there in green camouflage, because that's all we had. Absolutely true. Green camouflage to the desert. Canadian green troops run along the desert sands, you know. The Taliban are like, should we shoot them? No, don't shoot them. They're Canadian. They're unarmed. Oh. Meanwhile, Canadian Special Forces are like, don't mind me, I'm just a green bush. The wind's blowing me all willy-nilly. That's basic training in Canada. You gotta be able to do this. You can do that, you're set. I don't know what our military strategy, I don't get the plan. I used to live near this military base, and I see these guys going to do their military exercises all the time. And other countries, I'd see them going on their convoys and their exercise. I'd see missiles, tanks, might, power, force. Eh? Every time I saw these guys from Canada go by, it was the same thing. It was like every single time. It was a couple of camouflage jeeps, a camouflage truck, a semi with a flatbed. And on the flatbed, every single time I saw them, camouflage bulldozers and graders. Eh? Let's go to war! kind of military strategy do we have? Anyway, all right, we're going to dig a huge hole and cover it with dry leaves and brush and such. And then when the enemy comes along, where are those Canadians? And we'll smack them with hockey sticks. I'm sorry. Are you okay? Come here. I'm sorry. That was too hard. I'll take you to the hospital. It's free. Let's go. No, go now. You're going to be waiting a while. Get in there. Trust me. I don't know. We've made some bad decisions, I think, with our military in the past. That's maybe the problem. Our governments now are kind of scared to do it. But I don't know if you guys... I used to live in... Well, here, I'll give you a little map. Here's a map of Canada. Right about in the middle-ish, is Saskatchewan. That's where I grew up in Saskatchewan. It's directly north of North Dakota, just so you get an idea of where it is. And by the way, even we make fun of North Dakota. But anyway, in the middle of downtown Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, that's where I grew up. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. In the middle of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, we've got one of Canada's premier naval bases. It's not even close to the river. I don't even know. And here's the kicker, too. It's called the HMCS Unicorn. Because we believe in fairies and pixie dust. And flying ships. And here comes Captain Hook. Everybody, pixie dust. I was actually corrected one time. I was doing that bit, and somebody that actually used to work at that naval base, the HMCS Unicorn, came up to me and he said, after the show, and he said, we actually use that base for recruiting purposes. And I was like, oh, okay. Because that's where your best sailors are coming from, eh? The Midwest. Hey, I can't swim. Is that going to be... That's okay. We don't have any boats. Here's the thing about the military, too. We do have boats. We have some boats. We have 4 used submarines off the British. We bought them off the British, and they're leaking. Shouldn't that be the first thing you check if you're buying used subs? You know? See if it holds water. And here's the kicker too. They're the British that sold it to us too. The British, our allies, the British, treating us like used car salesmen treat somebody or something. No offense to anybody. I'm just saying. Similar scenario. What was it? I wonder what that would be like. Eh? Okay, everything's okay with these things, eh? Oh, quite fine, really, tip-top. Do they hold water? A little bit. We'll take them. I know they're supposed to go down. I know they're supposed to submerge, but it was a preemptive submerging. It was a good call, though. But it's preemptive. They're also catching on fire, too. That was the other thing. How does it even happen? It's underwater, you know? I get subs are defying the laws of physics, you know? Bloop, 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 bloop. Don't touch the water. That's hot now. According to my calculations, that'll be hot water. And they're diesel, too, eh? Because that's what you want in a stealthy sub, ain't diesel? Must be a Canadian sub, I guess. It's, could be an octopus with a bad cold, I suppose. No, it's Canadian sub. It's sinking. And it's on fire. I did bring my family. My wife's along with me. I haven't made fun of her yet. Wonderful woman. She's a great woman. I have some habits that kind of drive her crazy. I guess I talk in my sleep a little bit. And I also sleep with my eyes open every once in a while. And I know, that can be a little... Here's where it gets creepy. I guess sometimes I combine the two. Even I gotta admit, that's pretty creepy, you know? Imagine rolling over in bed and having me stare at you, you know? Mr. Jenkins wants more soup. I like cheese. It's a full-length bed. I don't lean onto it. I don't Beds are weird in Canada. No, it's a full lengther. I don't know. I guess I should get going here. Let some other folks come in here. You guys have been so much fun. I'll leave you with a couple of impressions. And actually, I don't know. Here's the thing about impressions. I don't know. I just don't. I don't believe in impressions. You do an impression of somebody, it's like you put them up on a pedestal. You know, you put them in a higher place than you. You know, it's almost like hero worship. You know, and I think that's wrong. You know, in fact, I think people that do impressions are losers. Loser. Thank you very much. Oh, right then. You guys have been fun. I gotta get out of here. Leave you with this. I'm a big James Bond fan. I love the James Bond movies. One of my favorite things about those movies is the theme. I mean, for those kids in the audience who don't know, aren't familiar with James Bond, he's a famous missionary. Here's the thing about James Bond. Coolest guy. And here's one of the things I love the most about those movies is the theme music. And not even just the theme music, but the accompaniment. Every time he walks into a room, he's got the coolest tunes playing. You know, like the old Sean Connery days, he'd come walking in there, it'd be like, James Bond. James Bond. It was cool, it was hip, you know? I got thinking the other day, that's what I need, you know? Hire a little band to kind of follow me around or something. Then I think, you know, what would my theme music be, you know? The name's Klassen. Leland Klassen. Thanks a lot, you guys. I am Leland Klassen. You've been a wonderful crowd. Thank you so much.